What's going on? It's your boy Chef Euro tapping in with you with this crazy 8's rank 8 deck profile. It's a new updated profile. I just got to Diamond, well, Platinum 1. Trying to get to Diamond 5 real quick. I'm going to show you this gameplay, but first I want to get into showing you this new deck profile. I took out the Grin Maju. I took out the Golden Castle of Strongbird, which I love both of those, decks. I've added Synchro monsters to my extra deck. All right. And how you get into your Synchro is through your Plague Spreader Zombie. All right. Also, I have the Hoppier Squadron. This pairs well with all your level 8s, but it really pairs well with your Gizmek. So if you got a Gizmek and you got a Hoppier Squadron, and this is basically your go second deck. Let's start off with saying this. This is a go second deck. So primarily, once you go to flip that coin to decide who goes first, if you go first, always go second. And 99.99% of the time, your opponent is going to want you to go second. So that's why this is it's probably like the best going second deck you can ever come up with, right? Because we run it with 9 kaiju, nine cards of kaiju, all level 8s, right? And also we run it with 3 kaiju slumbers. So we're gonna be interrupting and disrupting boards for sure. Necro face, you want to keep this. A lot of people don't run this when they run Grin Maju or different things like that. They'll rather run I forget the name of this, the card. It's like Eater of Millions. I love Eater of Millions, don't get it twisted. But I love Necro just as much more because we're doing a lot of banishing. And going against Runick decks, it's good to have this card in your hand, especially if you got to go to Sarcophagus, because you can potentially, send this card to your grave, and you can kind of know what kind of deck your opponent is having. If they doing straight face down cards, if they going first, and then it's your turn, and you got this golden sarcophagus in your hand, and you can just banish it. Oh man, then we on to something. But we got also we running 3 Limit Dragon here. So if your opponent has 2,000 or more attack point, you can special summon this from your hand. And the thing about this card, which I love, just like the kaijus as well, it's so clutch, because if you activate it in your hand, it won't trigger your opponent's hand traps or traps they got on the field or monster effects. It can just special summon without you having to be negated. I love it. And it's not a once per turn, as you can clearly see. So if you got all 3 of these in your hand, your person got one monster, at least one monster with 2,000 more attack. You can summon all 3 and go into your XYZ summon. Don't let you have a Plague Spreaders. You can normal summon this out. Don't let you have your other Hop Squadron tuner card. You can go into your Synchro, and it's just so crazy, man. I'm gonna show you some gameplay. This is a high power draw deck. We got 3 Allure. We running 3 trade-ins. We running 3 upstarts. We running 3 Pot of Desires, and we got 2 triple tactical talents. And then all these other cards are kind of like one-offs, right? Like you can get the card that you want by having this in your hand. So I got 3 kaiju slumbers that can give me the card that I want. I got Foolish Burial that can give me the card that I want. I use Foolish Burial, and I use Armageddon Knight to send to the grave either Gizmek or Plague Spreader Zombie, right? Because you can special summon them from the graveyard. So it's kind of like 2 Foolish Burials that you got. You know what I'm saying? This deck is really crazy. And then you got your alphas, right? So we run hella alphas, with hella kaiju. And we got, more draw power with the maxi if we're not getting chained effect. And then you got your dangers that's giving you one-offs. Because if it goes to the field, either one of these dangers, monsters, you can get one from your hand. So it's kind of, this deck is really crazy. So let's go to the extra deck. This is one of the key ones. Like I substituted, like I used to run Grin Maju. I love Grin Maju, but I didn't see Grin Maju a lot coming in my hand. Sometimes I'll get into Grin Maju when I activate the zombie vampire. So say if I activate his effect and 4 cards get sent to the graveyard, and I already got like 20 to 30 cards in my banish zone, and I just so happen to see Grand Maju, bam, OTK that way. You know, we got a lot of weapons in here that can, especially, you know, Sword Song Supreme Sovereign, like him. You know, of course, our OG, Juglubion going into number 100 Dragon. You know, this deck is really crazy. It's really fun to play with, and you can destroy a lot of metas. The Despius, the Runick deck. You can even get away with, you know, having, you know, like Sky Striker or any of those meta decks that you got out there. This is the meta deck killer. It's the Crazy 8 deck profile. Synchro XYZ summon, hella draw power, and we got hella back row removal. Because even with Twin Twisters, I'm not running no Harpies, because Twin Twister works well with all your dangers. It works well with your dangers. It works well with your Gizmek, right? So say if I had Twin Twister and a Gizmek in my hand, right? And I got a danger. I don't want to send the danger because they got back row, right? Say if they got a call by the grave, right? So I activate Twin Twister, pop the back 2, and then he flip over call by the grave, right? And he try to banish my Gizmek, but Gizmek can activate his effect, and then bam, it kind of like offsets it, and he won't, you know, I can still use my effect to get Gizmek out of that graveyard and banish 8, right? So it's kind of crazy. And then I go back to activate danger and then pop a card or destroy a card or put the card on the field to draw. I love this deck. Let's get into some gameplay. I took a couple L's recently, but for the majority of part, I have been taking a lot of dubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's this win to lose ratio is really good because I just got to Diamond. I'm gonna show you this gameplay with the Runick deck. Crazy. And like, Runick sends all my cards to the banish zone, but that's what I want to do anyway. This is a banish deck. You get what I'm saying? We want to banish. I'm not running Dimensional Shifter because it doesn't come up too often, and when you got it, it's a brick in your hand if you ain't got no Allure of Darkness. I really don't care for it that much, so I'm just going to speed up the gameplay. He's going to get into his bag, but I got Kaijus for this monster here because this monster protects any back row, any cards from being destroyed by, you know, tributing itself to go to the graveyard. But we're going to get that shit off the field real quick, real early. Bye-bye. You know what I'm saying? He gonna send out another one. I sent that out because, let me pause it real quick. I wanted to use him, like it was good to have, just like a Foolish Burial, like I said. You normal summon him, you can activate an effect and send out a Gizmek to the graveyard or your Plague Spreader Zombie, right? I didn't want to send Necro, right? I could have sent Necro and then we both been banishing 5 cards, but I already know he's about to get the banish and shit. So I want to keep this card in my hand because it has multiple effects of if you normal summon Necro face, all the cards that are banished from each player's side of the field goes shuffle back into their deck, which is clutch. You know what I'm saying? Because they're about to get to start trying to make sure that I don't have any outs in my deck and try to like run my deck out, and they don't know they're dealing with the banished deck. Crazy 8. So just watch this gameplay. I did Allure of Darkness, and I'm about to draw 2 cards. So let's get it going. Kind of perfect. Give me back my Kaiju. Bam. Bring back Alpha again. Bring out Sovereign. And from there, the game is over with. It's a waiting game. Look at him. I don't care about that Kaiju. Go ahead. Check this out. And he got this. He getting hella life points right now. But watch this. We about to take away. We about to, you know, get some things up out of the out of removal. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Watch this. This gameplay is crazy, man. So let's do this. I'm gonna show you. Oh, you want to banish? Watch. He ain't got no choice but to banish because that's what this deck thrives off of. And that's what my deck thrives off of, is sending shit to the banish zone. So every time you do that, Sovereign is just gonna look. Watch this. Oh my goodness. So he got rid of my card, but I had already activated the golden sarcophagus. So he got rid of my necro, but I got a one coming after that. You know what I'm saying? So just watch. I'm not even tripping over that. He did one day apiece, so I can't really attack him. You know what I'm saying? We both drew a card, but neither players take damage. So activate Sovereign. Look, trade in. Twin Twister. Get them shits up out of there. Remove that. Just, oh my God, this deck is just one card is doing this. One card. One card is he has no cards in his hand. Just look. No cards in his hand, no cards on his field. And I attacked him because I'm like, fuck you, I hate this deck. You know what I'm saying? I fucking hate this deck. This brand new meta deck, but we the meta deck killer. So, you know what I'm saying? He ends his turn, ain't shit he can do. Right? So now we get back. Now I don't activate this, right? Because I want to take down some of that life points. He accumulated 26,000 life points with that soul card. That what's it called? Soul absorption. He accumulated 26,000 just by banishing, all our monsters and shit. So I got 7 cards left, and I'm praying that he don't go through all of them before my next draw. So this is about to happen. Let's see. Bam. I played it. This was a risky move because I could have sent back all my stuff now, but I didn't want him to do that. So I'm down to 1 card or 2 cards after this. All right. So now I'm going to activate Necroface. All them cards are going back, and I activate it afterwards. Right. And all the cards that goes back from each side of the banish to the graveyard or extra deck, it gains attack points for Necroface. All right. So that's his side effect. If it goes to the banish zone, it banishes 5 cards from each player, deck, main deck. So being that he's still banishing shit, I'm taking his shit. I'm taking all his cards out of his graveyard and putting them in the what's in there. Now we just about to kill him. And this is just me fucking with him. I'm just fucking with him at this point because I fucking hate this deck. I'm trolling right now. I could have been killed him. You know what I'm saying? But, and this, I'm trying to tell you, man, this deck is really, really insane. I love it. Let's get into another gameplay real quick. I forget what deck this is. I think this is kind of like a rogue deck that I'm facing next. This is the game that I just got to Platinum 1 with. I'm trying to get to, Diamond 1. I'm trying to get to Platinum now. So we got a nice little hand going on. He doesn't really do too much if I remember. Yeah. So he does this. These are good cards to have in your hand, but it's like, damn, we need our crazy ace to keep going. So right now, I didn't want to get rid of this, but I wanted to see what he had in his hand, so that's why I threw Necroface over there. So I'm like, okay, he got a danger package. He got punk going on. Okay, let's go. So Twin Twister down, quick effect. So he gonna bring out Nightmare Phoenix. Destroy that, which I really didn't care nothing about. We're about to activate Maxi. Get our drawing going. And he does this. I'm sick because I wanted to get another card off of him. So he activated after. It's a chain effect, so I'm not going to get that extra card. It's cool, though. We at least we know we can get another 1 draw, you know what I'm saying, from the Maxi, which is right there. We end up getting a Kaiju. He attacks. If he ain't able to kill me this turn, then he's through. He's pretty much through. So he's going to link summon. And it's over after that. Like I got a level 8 in my hand. It's over, and so I can do a lot of things right now. And I just got an upstart. So you see the draw power. You see the draw power from the upstart, from the Allure Darkness. Started off with that. Now I got 2 trade-ins, but we getting that pull shit the fuck up out of there. Upstart, bam. Now we got a danger, right? And we know we're gonna activate that because if by activating danger, right? I didn't really care. We can send this to the graveyard, but because it can resummon itself the second time around. So now we about to get the draw card because Danger Effect was able to summon himself. So we're gonna draw. Look, now we got a pot. Now we got a pot of desire. So Look at what I'm about to do. I got a tuner, right? I'm going to go into Sovereign. You want to go into Sovereign first with this deck. I know a lot of people like bringing out Beyond the Flare, but with this deck, Sovereign is your goal. You know what I mean? Because, and especially if you got a Pot of Desires, especially if you got a Gizmek in your hand, just depending on what you got in your hand, you want to play Sovereign first. Your Synchro, level 10. You want to play him first because, and especially if you didn't use your Plague Spreader Zombie second effect. So once I put this out, it's going to go to the graveyard. And then you can be able to summon it by placing one card back on the top of the deck. And say if you had another Gizmek, you chain effect, then you bring out Beyond the Flare, right? But sometimes you can bring out Beyond the Flare first, just depending on the scenario. But in my case, I got a Pot of Desires. I know that I'm going to be able to activate Sovereign's effect off Pot of Desires, and banish a card from the field and a graveyard. So let's get back to the gameplay. So then negate my monster. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to see what's up under his hood. That's why I did that move with the Twin Twister, because I didn't want him negating potentially my Sovereign, because I'm about to go use the Pot of Desires to draw 2, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Look, life points go down. And I got another Kaiju on the field, so I can bring out Kaiju, and I can bring back the Plague Prey. Just this shit is I fucked up right there. I fucked up. He ended up quitting, but if I didn't activate his effect, I could have put out that Kaiju, one of my Kaijus on the board, and reactivate Plague Spreader, right? And then send one of my Kaijus back, and then I want to have Beyond the Flare, and I would have had Sovereign out there on the board. But he ended up quitting because it was nothing that he can do. You feel me? So yeah, that's a little bit about this deck, man. I faced, what deck was this? This was a Thunder / Despia deck. End up fucking them up. Let's play this gameplay. I wasn't gonna do it, but let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? I just want you all to see how crazy this deck is, even without the Golden Castle of Stromberg, even without the Grin Maju as support. You know what I mean? This is doing just fine without the Eater of Millions. And right now we got 2 Kaijus in our hands, so we know we can Kaiju a monster and put one on our side. He doesn't do that. We got our Gizmek. We got Foolish Burial, so we can go into our another level 2 Synchro, which I'm going to do. I put Plague Spreader in there. I activate Gizmek, bring him out, but I bring out Hop, and then I go to I want to say Beyond the Flare, because I didn't want to get negated. Yeah, this is the reason why I went there, because I'm gonna destroy one of his cards, and it ended up being infinite and permanent. So I didn't care. I didn't negate that. I could have, but I didn't care about that. I honestly didn't. So I'm just gonna attack and get in my turn, if I remember. Yep, attack it in my turn. So let's see what we do. I'm gonna speed it up. Remember, this is a Despia deck. So I negate that. He brings out this. He's gonna, tribute my monster to bring out this fucking card that I hate so much, Mirror Jade. But it's cool though. I'm not tripping. I get to Kaiju his monster and bring out another Kaiju, activate Plague Spreader Zombie, bring out Sovereign. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna activate this because I want another Kaiju in my hand, but he negates it. And I was expecting that. I was expecting that because during the gameplay on his side of the field, it kept popping up. So I'm like, what the fuck you got in your hand? All right, now we got that going. We still got our Kaiju in our hand. It's just fucking crazy. So he's gonna activate Mirror Jade. I don't give 2 shits about that. And the reason why I didn't bring out, I could have did that play. I could have brought out, but I just skipped this turn because you only about to draw one card. This card obviously not one of the Despia spell cards, so I just ended it because I didn't want him destroying any of my monsters. So he activates Thunder. There's nothing much he can really do with this shit. He tributes that, and he's going to fuse summon this Thunder Dragon. And there's nothing much else he can do besides go to battle phase, but it's cool. I got one Kaiju in my hand, and I got one in the graveyard I can use. He has no cards in his hand to negate anything. It's GG after this, right? And I got another Kaiju Slumber. Like, this shit is fucking retarded. Bam, activate Kaiju Slumber so I can bring one out on the field, right? Slap that thing down on the field. Bye out. Activate plays for the zombie, send one back to the grave. He tried to call by the grave, and I was so pissed that he did this shit. But we gonna activate Gizz, make and go to our level, you know what I'm saying, our level 8 synchro. So I'm not even tripping off that. I'm not even tripping. You know what I'm saying? Bam, synchro. After this, XYZ summon after this. I think I go into, what did I go to? Zombie? Did I go into zombie? I think I went into zombie. Yep, I did go into zombie. I went into zombie, activate his effect, discard 4 cards, bam, bring back another kaiju, bam, bring back the other cards. I got 3,000 because that's what Necroface does. And we're gonna go straight into battle phase and we about to kill him. Simple as that. This deck is fun, man. If you don't believe me, like and subscribe. I got more content on the way. Happy New Year's to everybody. See y'all in the next year. For sure. Peace.